All right, in this video, I'm going to show you a little bit of a shortcut to factoring some quadratics. And the requirement is a must be equal to 1. So for example, in this one, the a is equal to 1, the b is equal to -8, and the c is equal to 15. So we're gonna do it the standard way that we did in the previous video. A times c, it's going to be 1 times 15, which is going to be 15. So factors of 15, 1 and 15. 3 and 5, that's it. We look at their sums, that'd be 16, and then difference, 14, sum, 8, and difference, 2. Okay, so we're after 8, and we'll have to fuss with the sign in a minute. And so we have a positive 15, that's our product, so that can happen by a positive times a positive or a negative times a negative. So because our b is negative, we need our terms to be negative. So -3 times -5 is 15. -3 plus -5 is going to be -8. Okay. And so if we do the old way, okay, we're going to split up that -8x into a -3x and a -5x. Okay. And so in the first two terms, we can factor out an x. So x times x is x squared. X times -3 is -3x. Bring on down this minus sign. And the 5x and the 15, they have a 5 in common. That's actually a -5 there. And -5 times x is -5x. -5 times -3 is -15, or you can think of it as 15 divided by -5 is -3, okay? And then we got the x minus 3's in common, so then we have x minus 3 and x minus 5, okay? Now notice that the -3 and the -5 is exactly what we got going on there. And so that's the shortcut. If you can find that factor, those factors, then the factors that add up to b and have a product of AC, then that's it. So you can bypass some of the work, and all this stuff right here. When you get comfortable with it, and maybe a lot of you already are comfortable with it, you do all that in your head. So then this is a very short problem. It's just if we want to be very detailed and write out all the details that we have here, it takes a little longer. Okay, so here's the shortcut for the AC method. If I have x squared plus bx plus c, so this shortcut is for the a being 1, that'll factor into x plus c sub 1 times x plus c sub 2. And that's if c1 times c2 is equal to a times c, and c1 plus c2 is equal to b. So if we notice that -3 times -5, that equal to 15. That's the a times c. And realistically, it's just c because the a is 1. 1 times c is just c. And then -3 plus -5, that's equal to -8. That's the b. So this is realistically, this is c and this is b. Then we have this shortcut. So this factors into x minus 3 and x minus 5. And it doesn't matter which one comes first. Okay. And a lot of the problems that we end up working on in the future are going to be rigged this way. It'll be very quick to find the two factors. All right, so here's just that shortcut listed again. Okay, so here the a is 1, the b is 13, and the c is -30. Now if I do a times c, that's really just c because a is 1, so that's equal to c, and that's equal to -30. So we're looking at 1 times 30, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, okay? Sums, 31, and difference, 29, sum, 17, difference, 13, sum, 13, difference, 7, okay? And so there's some possibilities of what we can have here. So we got 13 in both the 2 and the 15 and the 3 and the 10. So there's a little bit of guess and check here. So that's another strategy for factoring trinomials, quadratics, is guess and check, and that's the way I learned. And so you're doing all of this but you're just kind of doing it in your head. You're doing that mental math in your head. Okay, so our product is negative, so that means that we have to have basically just a positive times a negative, all right? So, and I have 13, so I have more positive than negative. So if we look at the first one, if we do negative 2 plus 15, that equals to 13. And negative 2 times 15, that's equal to negative 30. So that's what we want, all right? Now, if I look at the 3 and the 10, I would have to have the negative be the 3. So we'd have negative 3 plus 10, and that's going to be equal to 7. And that's not what we want, so that's not going to work. And so our factor is just going to be x minus 2 and x plus 15, okay? And it doesn't matter if the x plus 15 or the x minus 2 comes first, okay? Alrighty, well, I hope you found that helpful, and just keep on factoring. It gets easier.